Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Crooked River Amateur Radio Club's Tuesday night VHF net. My name is John, and my call sign is KA8GKG. And for the purpose of this net, I'll be using the club call sign Whiskey 8 Charlie Radio Charlie W8CRC. This is an open and directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchange of amateur radio related ideas and information, to keep club members and amateur radio public up to date about club meetings and other happenings, and to enhance net operating practices. This net meets here every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. local time. We will start with announcements, and then we'll start taking check-ins. And I'm just thinking I have an announcement. I can't remember what it is. Anybody who knows me knows I'll do that stuff. Once it's complete, we'll take check-ins. So I'm going to toss it to Pat, N80QP, with club announcements. Pat, please come in.
Evening, everybody. This is N80QP. Announcements are number one, and the most important. As you all know, I've been trying to get some of the best presentations we can get into our club here. Tomorrow night, we've got a presentation coming up by Mark, N8NH. He's going to talk about soldering, Anderson power poles, and I think he said something about crimping coax on the connectors. Should be another very outstanding one. I'm going to try to record it, and we'll be throwing it on our YouTube channel. But as a follow-in to this, and I think this may be what you were forgetting, John, our trivia question tonight is going to be, how long have you been an amateur radio operator? And the other question is, do you know how to solder? Sounds like a neat one. I'm sure we're going to be surprised with the answers. But I think that's about all the announcements I've got for tonight, John. I will put it back in your very capable hands. Stay tuned for further ones as far as club events and stuff like that. Oh, one last thing. We do have scheduled a VE session for the 7th of September. It'll be at the Oakwood Presbyterian Church, 2409 Ardwell. I got it right that time. And it's Akron 44312. You can Google the address and find out. We also have on our webpage, on the actual crcham.org webpage, both and Facebook also, we have a place where you can sign up for the test. I've already had one guy sign up, so I know it's working. So if you or somebody that you know wants to take a test as far as VE stuff goes, I'll let them know it's there. With that, turn it back to you, John. Thanks, sir, and have a good evening. We'll be listening and listen out here. And I go QP.
All right, Pat. Very good. Yes, a VE session, and if anyone is interested in getting their ham radio license or an upgrade, September 7th will be the session. I hope we have a lot of people, new hams, coming into the practice of amateur radio. I do remember what my announcement is. I just learned about this just before going on the air. W8CXO, Mike, I believe, is casting this net to YouTube. So if you're interested in following up the net after we finish here, you can look up W8CXO YouTube, and you should find our net there. And that was my big announcement, and I kind of forgot all about it. So, okay, I'm going to open up the net for check-ins at this time. All check-ins, please come now.
All right, let me take that opportunity to check in, KA8BSA.
All right, I have KA8BSA. Any others? All right, Keith, it's yours. What do you have for us tonight?
Well, let's see. I'll start with the trivia question. I got my license in 1983 as a junior in high school. So y'all can do the math to figure out how many years that is. And yes, I can solder. I've got a little bit of a background in electronics, both in high school and 2 years afterwards. In my experience as a ham radio operator, I've soldered a time or two.
Yes, I'm sure you have. Well, very good, Keith. Okay, I'm listening for any other check-ins. W8CRC, Crooked River Amateur Radio Club, weekly net, listening for check-in.
KE8HNK Mobile with traffic.
Hi, KA8HNK with traffic. Good evening, Ron.
Name's Elmer here, and just wanted to give everybody a kind of a heads up. They had a high-speed chase here on the West Akron at Copley Road and Roslyn Avenue. They have Copley Road shut down, so it's going to be a traffic nightmare through that area. So just kind of wanted to give anybody that's traveling through West Akron and listening a heads up. Other than that, just wanted to give you one for the numbers and say 73, have a bright and blessed evening, K8HNK Mobile.
Right, Elmer, thank you. You're on the list. We got you in the log, and thank you for the information, traffic information about West Akron. Very good. Any more check-ins? W8CRC, listening for all check-ins. Please come now.
I'll give you a recheck for a second.
Yeah, recheck. Go ahead.
And 8OQP again. Didn't answer the trivia question. I've been a ham since 1991. 2001, 2021 or 11, 2021. So that's 30 years. 33 years. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. And yes, I can solder, more or less. I actually, unlike Keith, I had some previous training back in high school and after high school and that. I think that's it. Back to net. 8OQP.
Very good, Pat. Thank you for that. When was I licensed as an amateur radio operator? I earned my novice ticket in 1978, and I learned to solder when I was 14 years old and built my first Heath kit. It was a stereo amplifier, and following that I built a matching FM tuner, and I learned to solder there. And I got some of it wrong, but I learned real quick. The key to a good solder is heat. So that's my experience. And then everything I have to do soldering these connectors and things together on for ham radio. Any check-ins for the Club Net? Please come now.
KB8PRK.
KB8PRK, good evening, Ted.
got a couple nets here I had to check in on before I got over here. Anyway, did a good job there, John. Not much going on. I love this weather. And I was out monitoring a lot of air traffic today. That's about it for me. So I'll just turn it back to you there and listen out. KBPRK.
Very good, Ted. Thanks for checking in with us tonight. Maybe I'll hear you later this evening. I'll be on probably after 9:30 somewhere else, but I'll be around somewhere. Okay, this is W8CRC with the Crooked River Amateur Radio Club's weekly VHF net, listening for any and all check-ins. Any check-ins, please come now.
Delta 8, Bravo, Quebec, Sierra.
Yes, Bravo, Quebec, Sierra, please come. Please go.
Don, sorry, name here is Steve. And nothing much on this end other than, we like the cooler weather also. It lends to working outside, which is really nice when you're doing grass cutting and that kind of stuff without all the humidity we've been having lately. Yes, I've been a ham for around 40 plus years, and yes, I can solder. I built several heat kits growing up, and built a couple of CV radios. I think they were Fillmore kits, as I recall. I can't remember for sure, but they had the old vibrators in them. I don't know if you guys remember those those type of power supplies, but that was really interesting building those. Other than that, that's about it. And doing a good job, John, on the net. Appreciate it. And W8BQS will be standing by.
Very good, Steve. My goodness, you remember the old tube radios from back in the day. I remember those. When I was a kid, we didn't have solid-state radios in cars. We had vacuum tubes, and vacuum tubes need higher voltage. And you need to get that voltage up there through transformers, and transformers don't work on 12 volt DC very well. No, not at all. So, no, I remember that. That's really brings back a memory. Nostalgic piece of equipment there, Steve. Thanks for checking in this evening. W8CRC, listening for all check-ins for the Crooked River Amateur Radio Club weekly net. Please come now.
November 8, Uniform Kilo Mike, Chris, Copley Township. I have no traffic for the net.
Very good. K8, UKM, and Copley. And what was your name again? I'll get your name on the list. I can only write so many characters at a time. My writing's about like my CW copy speed. Slow.
Copy that. Correct call. November 8. November 8, Uniform Kilo Mike. And the name is Chris. Charlie Hotel, Romeo, India, Sierra. QSL.
I got your message loud and clear. November 8th, and you are Chris. Thanks for dropping by tonight, Chris. Have a good evening. Any more check-ins tonight?
We can go ahead and do the announcements again.
I'll make an announcement. Our club meeting is tomorrow night at 7, and the location is on the website, the Crooked River Amateur Radio Club website. It'll be worth attending to tomorrow night. If you can make the meeting, please feel welcome to come if you're a member, and if you're not a member, go anyway. We're glad to have you. I'm listening. I'm going to ask for one more go around here for check-ins, and if nothing comes in, we'll close the net. So any other check-ins, please come now.
there and remembered there was a net on, so I thought I better check in. I was out riding my e-trike. I've had it, I bought it in June. I've had it 7 weeks, and I just turned over 400 miles on it this evening here. Yeah, it's a fun little trike to ride, that's for sure. Anyway, that's about all I have. Hope everybody has a great evening, and I'll turn it back to Net Control, W8CTM.
All right, Kerry, thanks for dropping in. You didn't answer the trivia. Maybe you didn't hear it. How long have you been a ham radio operator, and do you know how to solder?
I've been a ham for 28 years now, and it's been a long while since I've soldered, but yeah, I used to be able to solder, let's put it that way. I don't know if the hands are steady enough, or who knows, but it's been a while. But yeah, I've 28 years on I've been a ham.
Very good, Kerry. Okay. Well, the reason I asked, tomorrow night at the meeting, we're going to have a soldering seminar on how to properly solder. So if you are so inclined, please join our meeting tomorrow night. Mark N8NH, I believe is his call, will be there to demonstrate proper soldering techniques. 73, Kerry, have a great evening. And any more check-ins? W8CRC listening.
Another recheck.
Another recheck. N80QP. Go ahead, Pat.
That meeting tomorrow night is the only thing, it isn't going to surround just soldering. It will involve a talk on Anderson power poles, and also the soldering and crimping of coax connectors. It's going to be a good one. He's got quite a bit he wants to talk about, so should be a good meeting. N80QP back. By the way,
yes, go ahead.
Anybody that wants to recheck to answer the trivia question, feel free. We do. I'd like to hear some more answers, but if not, fine. N80QP back to that.
Very good, Pat. Thanks for the reminder about the meeting agenda. Yeah, that's worth listening to. I know how to solder. I don't know everything, but I'm interested in learning more about properly crimping power poles. I know how I do it, but I want to see how somebody who knows more than I do does it. All right. Thank you for that. And any more check-ins for our Crooked River Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, please go ahead now.
A recheck.
Recheck, go.
It's Chris, N8UCAM, just to make Pat happy. About 37, 38 years, and I can solder. Years and years of doing plumbing work. I understand the complete concept behind soldering, but I'll tell you, some of the radio circuit boards nowadays, between eyesight and the handshake, as another gentleman mentioned, I'm not so sure of my abilities anymore. Thanks for the recheck, N8UCAM.
Thanks for jumping back in there, Chris. All right, and I'll just ask one more time for any more check-ins to our weekly Club Net. All amateurs are welcome and encouraged to check in, so if you're so inclined, now's the time. Join our net at this time. W8CRC listening for check-ins. All right, nothing heard. I won't drag it out. Thanks to all who checked in. I appreciate each and every one of you. It was fun talking to you. I don't like talking to myself. I do that all day long. And here I can listen to other people talk a bit. And also, without your check-in, there would be no net. So thank you for taking the time to drop by and say hello to us. We had a total tonight of 8 check-ins, counting myself. Very good. I'll be happy with that for tonight. So at this time, I am going to turn the repeater back to customary and traditional amateur radio use. 73 all, and thanks again for checking in. W8CRC is returning the repeater to normal operations at this time.
W8CRC, W8SEG mobile.
W8SEC, go ahead.
Whiskey 8 Sierra Echo Germany. Add one more for the tally. Sorry, I was playing ball with the boys after their practice there, but nothing really for the net. Just driving home from Hartville and caught the tail end there. Great job wrapping it up. 73.
Okay, W8SEG. What's your name again, please?
Nick, usually in Akron, currently in Hartville.
You're making, we have very good copy on you from Hartville into the repeater. Next 73, have a great evening, and thanks for dropping by.
You 73.
Okay, nothing else heard. I'll be closing the net at this time. W8CRC.
Great job, sir. Great job. We almost ought to hire you. Thanks for doing it. OQP.
At least give them a pay raise.
I'm going to double it.
Double it. Take that. Thank you. Oh, it was always fun. It's fun to play net control once a month. Yeah, it gets me out of the house, gives me something to do in the radio room, and I have a blast doing it. So thank you, Pat, for asking me. It's been asking me to participate. It's a privilege and an honor to do so, and I really enjoy my time here with each of you. So, all right, Pat, I'm going to get out of the radio room, and I'll be back on the air probably around 9:30 on the 220 repeater and HF. So I'll probably catch up with you later tonight. This is KA8GKG. I'll be clear for now.
Okay, John, have a good evening, sir, and thanks for doing it. We will catch you. KBSA, and OQP.
Yes, KBSA.
May need some help in a little bit to key a repeater or two up. You game?
Yeah, I think I can do one of them, or both, well, one at a time.
But we're going to try an experiment somewhere. I'm thinking somewhere about 7:30ish. I'm waiting for a text. So just stand by here a minute. And WD8BQS, are you around?
I guess I could just get on the repeater. KC8LIM.
Well, true too. I'm going to give it away, Jason.
Secrets. Well, I am here, and nothing is happening, but it's not 7:30 yet.
Wait till Newsline starts over there.
Welcome to Newsline.
Then you'll have plenty to watch.
I know what you guys are up to.
Secrets. Hey, how you doing, Ted?
Oh, not bad. Just sitting here watching mindless TV.
One-eyed babysitter.
Me or Pat, by the way, WD8BQS. Guys, copied, Steve. We're going to try, we may need your hand if you don't mind for a minute. It's not going to probably go past about, 20 to 8. But we're wanting to try to make something happen. So you could hang in there for a minute. We'll let you know what needs to be done.
I'm going to get a drink of water and I'll stand by.
Likewise, I'm going to move out to the truck because that one's programmed. This one, when I shut it down, I've got to reprogram it.
Can't fix that yet.
I'm too lazy to solder a battery.
Jeez Louise, Keith, bring it to the meeting. I'll do it for you.
You just want to get your hands on my radio.
Yep, straight.
That must be an antique if it needs a battery.
It's a Kenwood TS711.
What vintage is that?
Is it the 80s? I also have the brother of it, the 811.
Yeah, it's an 80s radio. That's the sweetest radio, little radio you ever saw.
Alright, I'll catch you in a few on the other radio.
It'll keep you. Yeah. Mono mode. Excuse me. All mode single band radio. And that is a sweet little Kenwood.
Monoband all mode. Yeah, good stuff. But that wasn't cheap back in the 80s.
No, they were equivalent. Probably to some today, probably close to 7,300. What 7,300 would have cost back then? Sweet radio. Bad part about it was only monoband, but it just looks cool.
You know what they say? Nothing works a band like a monoband.
One of the guys that I used to hang out with when I first got into radio had one. And I used to go over to his house all the time. And he had one. Every time I saw that, I thought, man, I'd love to have that sitting on my desk. I wouldn't use it. I'd probably just hook the power supply up to it. I wouldn't use it.
I figure that thing's got to be at least 30, at the very minimum, 35 years old. That's pretty good. I don't think you'd get that out of a Bowfang.
I don't know if you'd get that out of a Yaesu.
That's a good radio too.
Now that's true too, but it don't look cool.
Not sure what Yaesu you was talking about. I'm out in the mobile now, KABSA.
Well, thanks for the warning. Back to W8BQS.
Hey, almost 7:30 there.
I'm tuning down to the frequency that usually causes this. News line is on.
following is a QST.
Yep, the only carriers on right now are 712
home in 2025
and 739. Of course, I'm swamping the front end here. And I don't hear it. Right now, 39, as viewed by the spec-an, which is paralleled into the receiver of the repeater, is at about neg 30 dBm. It is extremely hot. We're going to have to put a pass or a notch, or have to filter it a little bit. But 2.7 is not on. I'm looking at it right now as I'm talking, and it's just 3.9. It's the only transmitter. There's also me on the input, and 712 just came up. But no problem.
712's got a net going on, and the guy running it right now isn't used to running it, and he's taking a little more time than usual.
See, if I take my antenna out a little bit, I can make a weak signal on the input. There we go. I'm about S3 on the receiver right now. Nothing.
Let me go over and key 2.7. Or somebody want to do that?
You can do it.
Suffered a series of technical issues, including 5 viewing links. Their mission was to have...
There it is.
There you go.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That mix showed up as an S3 on the receiver.
I keyed it. Yeah, we heard it.
Yeah. So 2.7 is neg 47 dBm. 3.9 is neg 30 dBm. Those are the only two that are on the air. One moment, let me adjust something on the analyzer. KC8L ions testing. 1, 2, 3. Stand by. Okay. Get my reference level set. Down low. If someone could key 2.7 again, I want to see if I see it on the spec-an.
And would be assigned to the general, defined by...
Awesome, thank you. Nope, I do not see that on the spectrum analyzer on 14604. So that's not actually a mix. That is front-end overload on the receiver. So, yep. Let me insert a crudely tuned pass cavity here. Give me a moment. Okay, can everyone still get into the repeater?
I'm in.
PRK, I guess, is in on 5 watts.
KA8BSA.
Okay, this is a Motorola quarter wave notch that was found under some stuff here at Dave's. It was crudely tuned up here pretty quick. Someone can key up 27. Let's see if the prop's back.
I just did it and didn't see this one keyed.
Did it before you.
Okay, so now, wow, the deviation of the PL is really annoying on this handheld. I hear it. That's about 31 dB down on the 739 repeater, and about 30 dB down on 27. So that takes its signal from neg 30 on the receiver to neg 61, which is much more normal. And 14727 is received at about neg 78 from its neg 47 dB. So it's well out of the saturation of the receiver.
And just like that, it's fixed?
The mystery is done. Yes. So there'll be a couple changes throughout the season here as we move stuff around. But I'm going to try to get some cabling together and just slide this pass cavity underneath the bench. Once we get everything permanently mounted, we'll go for the least loss, tweak everything up and perfect it. But for now, I think we've got it squelched.
Well, great. Absolutely great. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, we kind of proved it was a mix just between 727 and 739. I guess I could kill the link transmitter and see if it's in the mix, but really, it's front-end overload, and it's fully saturating that receiver, so it is going to be almost impossible to figure out, the exact mix and the IF, and it's just creating all kinds of internal intermod products in the receiver, so it doesn't really matter. It's fixed.
That wouldn't be anything with 39 being out of tolerance, would it?
No, I don't see anything on the band from here that would indicate anything's misaligned on 3927, none of those.
That was another thought I had.
No, it's just when you have a receiver and you hit it with RF, anything greater than about neg 50 dBm, you run into the risk of causing problems. It becomes nonlinear, and you get intermod that's formed internal of the receiver, various components. That's like neg 50 dBm, you're probably okay. Neg 40, it starts to get there. Neg 30, you're done. At neg 30, all the equipment I worked on in the lab, you were getting all kinds of intermod. So even microwave point-to-point stuff, you want it as hot as possible. Neg 30 is pretty hot for that, too. So, anything in neg 30, it definitely needs fixed. So it could also be a different receiver. This is a ham 2-meter mobile that we're using as a receiver. Probably it'll get swapped out. There's a Kenwood 790 commercial sitting here on the bench. That'll probably get programmed up and swapped in as well. But, shouldn't be an issue. Now, the 549 transmitter, it has not keyed the entire time we've been here, so I'm not sure how it gets in the mix. But it should be squelched a bit, too, because this cavity it doesn't do too much with 4.9, but it'll give it at least a little attenuation.
Yeah, well, the only problem we heard with 4.9 was back there with the eclipse time and all that. I don't think I've heard much, if anything, coming from that anywhere close to recently.
you have a chime, a clock in your background?
Yeah. It goes off at 20 minutes to the hour because it's broke.
Oh, I'm listening very intently to your audio as I'm doing stuff, and I'm going, what is that noise? I can't ID it. It's a clock.
I might have the hand mic a little bit hot, too, because everybody complained about my audio being low.
Okay, I can remotely key up 49, at least make it ID, and it's not doing anything. Your signal from the local receiver here has not changed its quality at all. There's no noise or added, intermod or any sort of weird artifacts in the signal or audio is received. So I think they're all the transmitters are playing nicely.
Well, good. Yeah, I appreciate your time going out there to look at that. Believe me, I know how busy you are.
Yeah, no problem. We'll button this up somehow, and we'll leave it, and we'll just make sure to keep a pass cavity. So I originally thought that there was a pass cavity involved, but the pass cavity here is a 2-meter band pass. And when you sweep it, it's the entire 2-meter band, 144 to 148. So it does nothing outside, I guess if you have a pager at 153 meg, it'll do something, but it's not really helping at all in this case. So I'm going to leave it in line just because it was in line, but it's ultimately going to come out of line once we get everything, physically rearranged in here.
Yeah, I'd almost like to see that sometime. You should let me know when you're going out.
Do you really? You're more than welcome, but it's really nothing special.
That what you had down in the basement there before?
No, this is in the back. There's a space in the back, and it's just a Kenwood mobile receiver, ham rig, linked up. Little custom board to a UHF link transmitter, and sitting underneath a wood desk with a bunch of mouse turds around it.
Oh, cool. That helps it get out.
The mouse turds help it somehow.
It turns it into fuel.
Yep, okay, we're going to button it up. At least that kind of proves the theory of what's going on. The repeater may be off the air, on and off for the next 20 minutes as it gets reassembled. KC8LIM.
All right, Chase. Thanks again for the help here. We will probably talk to you down the road. 7-3, OQP. Thanks, guys, for hanging in there with us. You were a lot of help. It is appreciated. And OQP.
As long as those mice aren't chewing on the wires, it's cool.
Receive fuel, didn't you know that? Like crystal.
Okay, you keep believing that. Alright, I'm going to jump out of here and put some groceries down.
Alright. Thanks, Steve. You're still in there. And John, if you're still in there, thanks again. Catch everybody. I'll go on a listen mode here. Maybe watch some mindless TV. Hey, OQP.
Alright, we'll see you all tomorrow at Oak Hill, that's Oakwood Presbyterian Church.
Did I say Oak Hill? I thought I said Oak Hill. But then I doubled with 2 or 3 people, so. Everybody take a chance at OQP. And see you at Oakwood, Oakwood Presbyterian Church tomorrow night. Hey, OQP, jeez.
Alright, but I only got the key for Oak Hill. Catch y'all later, KA8BSA.
WD8BQS. Pat, you still in there?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
I happened to catch something on the internet, which I thought was pretty cool. Somebody used a stake from a cement, the boards they nail up for the cement driveway edges, which have the little holes in the side for nails so they can nail the boards to them. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Okay, what the guy did was he drilled a hole in the end of that stake and threaded it for 3/8 24, the fine threads, and it perfectly fits the telescopic whip and also the hamp sticks.
Interesting.
Yes, I'm going to try it, and he also drilled a hole in the side to attach ground wires to. So if you want to use that for a portable setup for the telescopic whip, he got really good SWR readings on it.
I'd like to, let me know when you're going to try that out.
All right, my problem is right now is I don't have a 3/8 24 tap, so I've got one ordered, and I don't know, it might be here tomorrow or maybe Thursday, I'm not sure when. I got the holes drilled. Good thing I had a drill press. I had to get a drill press vise because I was doing everything by holding it myself, but I didn't want to try that with a rod, real heavy-duty rod like that. Couldn't handle it, so got the vise and managed to get 2 holes drilled. I got 2 rods. Let's see what happens.
Kind of makes me wonder if there's not a little ingenuity in making some greenback. You could almost make those and sell them.
Yes. Chameleon sells theirs. They have basically the same thing, and they want like close to $80 for it.
$50 for a $10 rod? There you go.
That's true. And you can get it long or short. They have got mine at the big box store, the blue store with the big L on it. Got that down there, and I think it was only like $8.
Like I said, $10, drill press, bid, put it on the internet. I'll tell you what, if you want to do that, let me know. I'll sell them.
Yeah, I know that would be a real easy thing to do. I couldn't believe why I didn't think of something like that, but this guy was really pretty handy. He even clamped a truck mount. I think the CB guys use them for that type of a whip, and he bought one off of the big A store online, and it was only, I think, wasn't too expensive. I don't know if it was $16, and he clamped it to the post, so he has that going for him too. You can also screw the antenna to that L bracket if you don't want to drill the hole in it.
November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa.
Evening, Chris. Go ahead.
An interesting conversation. I don't know the name of the other station, but are those, let's see, the form stakes is what we call them in the construction industry then. I imagine the holes going in the top, dead center of it. And are those intended to be pounded into the ground?
Yes, and that was the only drawback. The guy said what he did was he got a sacrificial bolt, and he screwed it in the threads that he made in the end of the rod, and was able to save the threads that way, and also the rod.
Roger, that's exactly what I was going to suggest. And of course, I have a lathe here, so I would just turn as the form stake, so that the forces are distributed over the entire stake, and much less chance of deforming the threads than if you just use the bolt. Although I would imagine if you got some washers and made the bolt tight to the washers that are the same diameter as the stake, that should work great.
That's very good. The name here is Steve, by the way, WD8BQS. Yeah, I just been experimenting with ham sticks and just bought one of those 17-foot telescopic whips, so I'm going to give that a shot once I get this thing threaded up.
Roger that. Yeah, if I didn't have a lathe, that's probably what I'd do, is use the sacrificial bolt and then get a stack of washers, maybe 2 or 3 or 4, and that way you could distribute the blows from the top, from the sledgehammer over the entire shoulder of the top of the stake that's threaded. So, no, it sounds like a good plan. Very interesting conversation, guys. And evening, Pat. And I think I heard maybe Jason's still out there, LIM. Very good. Nice to meet you there. Give me your name one more time. I'm sorry.
Roger. Name here is Steve. Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo, and we hang out on 04 quite a bit. So once in a while we'll go on 5.2. So we're all over the place actually. But those are the two probably you can catch me on.
QSL, Steve. Well, nice to meet you. My name is Chris here, Charlie Hotel Romeo India Sierra. Pat knows me. So, yeah, we'll let you guys carry on. That was my 2 cents worth. I just kind of heard you talking about that. And there is where did I learn this from? There was I don't remember now, but there was some application where we needed a sacrificial mandrel on top to hit with a hammer, and it's worked out really well. It lasted years now. So, all right, 7-3, guys. Good luck. And good project. Very interesting. November 8, Alpha Charlie Papa, back to the group.
Okay, Chris. Hey, by the way, he also suggested using a rubber mallet or a nylon-headed mallet to pound the stake in. I don't know if I'd try that, but that might not be a bad idea either.
Until you hit a rock.
Not going to get very far with a nylon mallet. I'd use at least a 3-pound engineer's hammer, probably an 8-pound sledge.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet, so I just thought I'd throw it out there for what it was worth. That was something the guy that posted the thing on there online, he was talking about. That was his other alternative, so I don't know if he actually tried it or not, so I don't know. I don't have either one of those, so I'll probably wind up just using a sledge and a bolt. All right, catch you guys later. WD8BQS.
Have a good evening, Steve. Hey, QP. I'll be around here for a little bit yet. QP, listening.